G'day guys, welcome back to another video with Enno here from Fantasy Take TV. Something a bit different today. Just quickly going to go through a first draft that I put together for NFL Sportsdeck. So that opened yesterday, I believe, and still a few weeks away from the NFL season, but I just want to get a quick first thoughts, I guess, sort of video out there. Go look through some things. There's a bit of value I can already see in this season, but a lot still yet to play out. Pre-season's still going on right now. Just had 1 week of it, two actually, and there's still a couple of weeks to go. So, if you haven't played before and know the NFL, that it's a sport with quite a lot of injuries, so there is, quite a lot still yet to monitor and that's going to play out. So, still going to have to look at stuff, day by day, and probably as you get closer to the season, of course, see if there's any, injuries in key spots where players might emerge and whatnot. So, I'll quickly look at, I might go through the most owned initially. Can't quite remember how many play this year to year, but I've played it, haven't done too great in the last two seasons. I think last year I missed Jamar Chase, which was a big one, and he went absolutely bonkers, and most owned him. And year before I just didn't really know too much how to play it, but we'll give it another go. Of course, do love the NFL and the normal draft format that a lot of people will play, and have played that for probably 5 years now. But this is obviously a different sort of ball game, and more akin to the super coach and that sort of thing, where you build team value and try to do it that way. But again, it is different with the setup and how many players and whatnot. So 3 quarterbacks, 6 running backs, 8 wide receivers, 3 tight ends, 2 kickers, 2 defense, and obviously that's including the bench too. But there is a bit of a strategy to it, and obviously you've got to see where the value is. And I guess we'll start straight with quarterback, where most of the time, and a lot of seasons gone by, well, the last 2 that I've played, there's been quite a lot of value at quarterback, and that's where a lot of the money can be made. But this year and going into this season is not going to be like that at all. There's really, as you can see, only one quarterback that's a rookie, Kenny Pickett, and then Mariota is the other one that's cheap, who has been around for a while, but looks to be starting for Atlanta for the beginning of the season. They did draft a quarterback, but he's not tipped to start the season. So it looks like the year of starting a premium, and most have gone Josh Allen here. I've gone Justin Herbert to begin with. I think their fixture's better, and I like that division for a lot of high-scoring games, with the Chiefs, the Broncos, and the Raiders, who are good too, and just got Devontae Adams, and, Derek Carr's no slouch in my opinion, and Waller, if he stays fit, is there as well. So there's a lot of high scoring, and I think Herbert can, sustain that and do that himself at the Chargers. Allen's good too, and then a lot of going with Trey Lance. It is a bit of a discount option. He's, going to start now at San Fran. He's, a bit cheaper. There's money to be made there. A lot of groundwork, rushing ability, rushing touchdowns is what we expect with him. So you can do that. And I even think this year you can go with 2 premium options. So we'll wait and see what the rest of the team looks like, but that might be a shout. And then for here, I think the strategy early will be to go Mariota to begin with, get as much money as we can out of him. Kenny Pickett may not start to begin with, and then once he does, you sort of make the switch, bank some cash, spend it elsewhere, and do it that way. I guess if Kenny starts earlier, you might want to go to him, maybe even to begin with, or early, but we just don't know yet. But right now it looks like Mariota will start, Pickett won't, and then you'll make that switch, whether that's week 4, 5, 6, whatever it is, when Kenny starts to play. Into the running backs, I think it's very clear and obvious that you just pick JT. He's clearly the best running back, and especially fantasy-wise, had an insane season last year. And then CMC, who I know a lot have been burnt by before, me included, but at the value there at 30 mil, he can outperform that. In this game, he was 20 mil, for a whole season or 2 when he was playing and healthy. But even when he plays, he obviously scores points. It's just his injury history hasn't been great the last year or 2, so hopefully he's good to go this year, and worst comes to worst, we trade him out once we get a bit of value out of him. And then I think you've got a lot of value in the cheap running backs. So ETN didn't play his first season. He's very cheap. Breece Hall, the top running back from this class. Cam Akers under an injury cloud at the moment. Saquon's very good value, but not someone or somewhere I just want to go, I don't think. Dameon Pierce looks to be getting the starting job at Houston, but still a bit to play out there. Kenneth Walker, another cheap option, another rookie from this class. And then we go down, there's J.K. Dobbins at $5 million, who I'm kind of interested in, depending on what it looks like heading into the season. James Cook there as well, probably won't touch him. And then just your normal premium options, so to speak. But for now, I think that's the way I'll go, whether it's Dobbins, maybe it's Akers. We'll wait and see. Have to see how the next couple of weeks goes. Into receiver, I'm just picking these two guys just like that. I don't think there's anything else to discuss with those two. Just been unbelievable start to their careers, and I think they'll keep going. There's a lot of cheap options here. I'm going to start with Cooper Kupp and just say at this stage, I think I'm avoiding at that hefty 19 mil price tag. Had a ridiculous year. I think he can go close to doing it again, but I'd rather bet against it to begin with. We may get him at a much cheaper price. Only going to take one poor game, which seemed like impossible for him to have last year. But we'll only take one of them. He'll drop in price. Maybe pick him up. I can see with the amount of value there is that you can probably justify starting him again, even if you're going to take a value hit, just because of how good he is. But I think I'll avoid to begin with. CD's great value at 10 mil. A-Rob I've got as one of those cheaper options. And then I think I did go with Devontae Adams at 15 mil. Unsure there. I still might avoid. Debo at 16 mil I'm avoiding. And then I had, I believe I did have Diggs just as sort of that cover if I don't go with Allen. And then I was touting maybe with going with a Mike Williams or a Keenan Allen, just because I do have Herbert to sort of go for upside there. If they have shootouts and I'm expecting Herbert to do well, then of course I'm expecting his receivers to do well as well. So undecided there as of now. And then the cheap options, I sort of went past him at the top, but there's Drake London, who's a rookie who I think I'll avoid. He just had a knee injury. Should be good to go for the season, but not sure there. I'd just rather probably bet on Juju and MT probably. I'm hesitant with MT. He's had a very just silly 2 years of injury, and he was delayed getting his ankle surgery a year or so ago, and I'm not sure what's going on with that man's head. And then I guess the same could be said with Juju, whether he's really invested in football. But at $4 million, the actual proven assets, like MT was wide receiver 1 for a good year and a bit. Juju has been up there, but not as high as MT. But at KC, we'll get a lot of targets with Tyreek gone. And then look, if we have to switch one of them to one of the rookies like a London or Olave, Sky Moore at KC as well, who pop off, even Pickens, then we can do that. So I think unless one of the rookies really stands out in the next couple of weeks, I'll probably go with these proven guys just for the bench. Tight end, I think it's simple. Kelsey, Andrews. I don't see anyone else really worth going for. You could say Waller's a bit of value, but a lot of injuries last year. Kittle the same. And then I haven't really delved too deep here as to what you go, but there's Johnny Smith at 3 mil, who I think will see more targets this year. Irv Smith, Trey McBride. Look, I'll just do that for now. Probably maybe study it more, and there is a way you can loophole for VC and C each week, and you can do that on the tight end line or the kicker line. If you do it on the tight end line, of course, you don't have a backup option. If one of the tight ends gets injured, you have to trade them. And if you do it on the kicker line, kickers can actually make some money. So there's Cade York, who is tipped, I believe, at this stage to get the Cleveland job. Will Lutz was their kicker a couple of years ago and was at a higher price than this. He had an injury last year and is now at a discount, but I'm not sure he's actually certain to start for them. I think he's in a battle with someone else. So you could, do him. You could just go a loop option in this Green Bay kick-up, who I believe won't be getting the job. But more research to be done over the next couple of weeks, of course, as I said, and a lot of these guys are still vying for positions on their respective teams. And then I'm left with a lot of money here, so I think initially I just went for the Pats defense. The division's pretty easy. I like the opening schedule. And then I went for, I think, Baltimore, who have the Jets week 1. So, maybe you can play them week 1 and sort of rotate around. And still $2 million in the bank here. So, you can use that to get up to Dobbins, $1 million of that if I need. You can do Trey McBride up to Irv Smith, something like that. And then again, I'm not super set on this wide receiver core. Adams Diggs, not super 100%. Might have to study it more as well with early matchups and also buys you do have to look at as well, and something I'll get to at a later date as well, because they're spread out all over the season. Essentially, they start I think week 5 or 6, and then there's a few teams that have a bye every week for the next 10 weeks. So something you got to think about. But that's it. I'll try to leave it short. I think it's already been 10 minutes. So that's my first team. Let me know if you're playing this year. We'll drop a league code now in the description. If you haven't seen it already, it's there. I'll probably comment on it actually and pin it. But yeah, join the Discord especially. There's a lot of people that will be playing it in our Discord. We did the last 2 years, and we'll be discussing it there. So links for that is in the description always. And I look forward to the season when it starts in about a month's time. So thanks, guys. I will see you in the next vid. Cheers. Got the mojo deals, we been tripping like, hey, pulling out the coupe at the light.